Introduction. Where to start? I will begin with who I am and why I'm here. My name's George McKenna. I'm 70 now, and for most of my life, I've worked face-to-face with people, listening to their problems, finding solutions, and trying to give something back that made a difference. My working life began as a bus conductor. That's where I first learned the value of listening. Not just hearing, listening. That job taught me how to read people, how to calm them down, how a smile could smooth over the most awkward situation. A quick quip and a grin could turn an argument into a laugh, help people see the funny side of what annoyed them, and, of course, help them get where they were going, literally and otherwise. Later, I trained as a field service engineer in radio, TV, electronics, and audio at a government-funded skill center. It was part of a national push to provide industry with new blood, people who already had a solid foundation before an employer took them to the next level. The funny thing was that my first job wasn't in the high-tech world of electronics. It was in the more mundane world of white goods. A service organization took me on to repair both their brown goods, TVs, and their white goods, domestic appliances. But in practice, I barely touched a television. My work was 99% washers, dryers, and fridges. Over the next 20-plus years, I moved on to other employers and built up a deeper practical and theoretical knowledge. I worked on the full range of white goods, washing machines, fridge freezers, cookers, gas and electric, microwaves, and anything domestic with a plug. I'd go into people's homes and they'd say things like, "It's not sounding the way it normally does." They couldn't tell me the fault, but they knew the rhythm had changed. I'd listen, ask the right questions, and track it down. Because in the end, it wasn't just about fixing machines. It was about understanding the people who used them. They didn't know the fault exactly, but they knew the sounds, the symptoms, and I'd listen, ask the right questions, track it down. The skill wasn't just fixing the machine. It was understanding the person using it. From 1998 until I retired in 2020, I worked as an SVQ assessor, mostly with engineers, but also with managers, warehouse staff, admin teams, and health and safety candidates. Over time, I became a center coordinator and internal verifier too. My role? To take complex qualification criteria, all that jargon, and turn it into something people could actually understand. It turns out I had a knack for it. Not just the explaining, but the storytelling. I'd give examples, build little what-if scenarios. I made learning make sense. And the funny thing is, I've always told stories. Whether I was explaining why a tumble dryer wouldn't heat or guiding an apprentice through the assessment process, stories stuck. They meant something. So when I retired, I started wondering, what now? I wasn't chasing money. I'd had my career. What I wanted was something meaningful, creative, something that made use of everything I'd learned over the years. That's when I discovered storytelling on YouTube. Not the fancy, polished stuff. Just people sitting down, telling stories about life, people, and memory. So I gave it a go. In the beginning, I thought I'd use AI to help, let it write the stories, even the narration. But the AI voices never got the names. Edinburgh became Edinburgh. Helensburgh was a Helensburgh. Doroch? Not even close. I found writing it Dowryok helped. Don't get me started on Orchenshugel pronounced Uckenshugel or Uktamuchity. Pronounced Uktamukti. And Lof. They'd say lock. A lock's on a canal. A lock pronounced lof, which is as close as I can get the AI to say it, is a body of water. The Lake of Monteith, pronounced Monteith, commonly known as Scotland's only lake. Mary, Queen of Scots, Mary Stuart, briefly stayed at Inchmahome Priory in the Lake of Monteith in 1547 for safety during the rough wooing. She was later imprisoned at Loch Leven Castle on Loch Leven, from which she escaped in 1568, before fleeing to England and facing execution in 1587 under Queen Elizabeth I. In the end, I figured, if these stories are mine, I should be the one to tell them. Nervous or not, camera or not, I've spoken to thousands of people over my life. This is just one more. So I'll speak the way I always have. But we'll keep trying to train the eyes with phonetic spelling, It's time-consuming, but it is worth it and avoids me editing and re-editing my mistakes. I've got stories, more than a few. I once met Lady Cunningham Graham, a lady in every sense. That story's coming. I've worked with bus drivers, conductresses, sailors, teachers, ex-soldiers, engineers, submariners. I've seen things in people's homes I wish I hadn't, and things I'm glad I did. Folk used to say to me, "You should write a book." And I'd always say no. That's not my thing. But short stories, 5, 6 minutes, spoken straight to the camera. That's different. That's me, when I get the courage to do it. Until then, it'll be the AIS. So here's where I've got to so far. I've written a few books, all available through Amazon. But if you want to find them, just head to Croy Hill Media. You'll find everything there. The latest is The Man Who Jumped First, book 1 of a trilogy called The Badger Federation Chronicles. It's a time travel, alternate history story about war, loyalty, and one engineer who jumped first to try to stop it all. He's not alone. He's aided by 3 AIS. There's Charles, a sarcastic, grumpy old man in digital form who always has something to say, whether or not you want to hear it. His origin, that's in the book. Then there's Cheney and Floyd. Their roles become clearer as the trilogy unfolds. It might explain the madness. My other books include AI for Teenagers, a beginner's guide to ChatGPT, plain and practical. The AI Adventure Guide, a light-hearted AI intro for kids and preteens. And 2 blood pressure journals, classic and tracker editions, for anyone who wants to take charge of their health. And that's not all. On my YouTube channel, Croy Hill Media, you'll find storytelling videos ranging from time travel and Scottish folklore to personal tales and bus garage legends. Some of the highlights. Arrival in the Past, a cinematic voiceover from the Badger Federation. Echoes of Yeroboam, dreamlike, unsettling, and a bit otherworldly. 10 reasons to visit Scotland, for autumn, winter, spring, and summer. A Gertie story and Eddie's route. True tale from the smoky bus depots of the 1970s. The Black Bitch of Linlithgow, a haunting legend, beautifully retold. The Old Alliance, The Signal Remembers, and The Echo That Smiled, fragments of a bigger world I'm still building. It's all part of the same journey. So that's what this is. A wee project in retirement. Just me, my voice, my stories. And if you're still listening, thank you. I hope one of them sticks with you. Thumbs up sign if you like the story. Press the like button.